This is War Mind, and what you're about to hear might change how you see everything. In Part 1, we uncovered the A-12 Avenger, a stealth bomber so advanced it was supposed to redefine naval air power. In Part 2, we exposed the cover-up, how the Pentagon canceled the program, then hid behind state secrets to avoid accountability. In Part 3, we revealed the truth no one wanted to admit. The A-12 was doomed by physics, too unstable, too fragile, too heavy for carrier life. In Part 4, we met the whistleblowers, the analysts, lawyers, and engineers who risked everything to tell the truth. Now, in Part 5, we cut through the lies, the excuses, and the technical failures, and reveal the real reason the A-12 died. Not because it was broken, not because it was too expensive, but because of jealousy. Subscribe to War Mind and never look at war the same way again. Let's go back to the 1980s. The Cold War is still on. The Air Force just unveiled the B-2 Spirit, a flying-wing stealth bomber that can cross continents undetected, deliver nuclear weapons, and return without a trace. It's a technological marvel. And the Navy, they're furious because the B-2 gets all the attention, all the funding, all the glory. Meanwhile, the Navy's carrier-based aircraft, the F-1 for Tomcat, the A-6 Intruder, are aging. They can't penetrate modern air defenses. They can't strike deep into enemy territory. So the Navy makes a decision. We need our own stealth bomber, not because they need it for war, but because they need it for power. Because if the Air Force has the B-2, then the Navy must have the A-1 too. It's not about strategy, it's about survival. Because in Washington, if your branch doesn't have a next-gen weapon, you lose budget, you lose influence, you lose relevance, and the Navy is terrified. Why? Because aircraft carriers are expensive, and if they don't have an aircraft that can justify deep strike missions, then the carriers themselves become obsolete. No stealth bomber, no deep strike, no deep strike. No need for carriers, no Navy Air Wing. It's a chain reaction, and the A-12 wasn't just a plane. It was a lifeline, a $5 billion insurance policy to keep the Navy in the game. But here's the irony. While the Navy was pouring billions into the A-12, McDonnell Douglas had already offered them a solution. The Hornet 2000, bigger, faster, longer range. A natural evolution of the FEA-18, and it was ready. But the Navy didn't want it. They badmouthed it, called it not stealthy enough, said it wasn't the future, until the A-12 collapsed, and suddenly, the Hornet 2000 became the answer. They renamed it the FEA-180AF Super Hornet and bought hundreds. The same plane they spent years rejecting became their new flagship fighter. And the A-12, a $5 billion ghost. But the real scandal isn't just the waste, it's the game. The military-industrial complex runs on what one insider called brochuremanship. Contractors promise miracles. The Pentagon buys the dream. Reality gets ignored, and when the dream fails, they blame the builders. The A-12 was never about winning a war. It was about winning a budget battle, a high-stakes poker game where the Navy bluffed its way into a program it couldn't deliver. Because losing face was worse than losing money, and Dick Cheney, he didn't cancel the A-12 because it was failing. He canceled it because he needed money, fast. The Gulf War was raging. The Pentagon was scrambling for funds. And the A-12, a perfect target, a black hole of cash. A program so secret, so complex, so messy, that killing it wouldn't spark public outrage. Just contractor lawsuits, which they could fight. Which they did, for decades. So the A-12 died not once, but twice. First, by design. Then, by deception. And today, the cycle continues. The F-35, the B-21 Raider, the next-generation air dominance and GAD fighter. Every new program carries the DNA of the A-12, overpromised, underdelivered, overpriced, and when it fails, we'll hear the same excuses. Cost overruns, technical challenges, contractor failure. Never the truth that the military didn't need it, it just wanted it. This is part 5 of our series on the A-12 Avenger, the stealth bomber that never was. In the final episode, we'll reveal how its legacy lives on in every stealth program today, and why the A-12 may still rise from the ashes. Thanks for watching War Mind. where history isn't just told, it's felt.